Hi, my name is Lucas Langa.
And my name is Pablo Galindo.
And this is the Core.py podcast. In fact, what you're listening to right now is part 2 of our interview series with the attendees of the CPython Sprint Week at ARM in Cambridge, UK. We've already interviewed 18 people that you've heard in part 1 of the series, and there's another 12 coming. It will make more sense for you to hear those if you have actually heard part 1, since some interviewees and interviewers refer to stuff covered last time. So yeah, I know it's a big ask. It's 2.5 hours in part 1 and another 2.5 hours today. But yeah, that's what you get with this podcast. We never promised you short episodes. In fact, since I already have you here, sorry for the so-so audio quality. We've been doing sort of ad hoc field recording on site with help from ARM. We thank them. But that's the best I could organize at the short notice. And after literally weeks staring at those interviews, this is how I was able to edit them to sound. So the failure here is mine. Yeah, but hopefully all of this is audible enough for you. So without further ado, let's hear from our guests and the guy.
Well, I am the guy, but do you want to present yourself to our listeners?
Hi, I'm Greg Smith.
I think you're
Greg P.
famous.
Smith is my online name people see, so maybe they know that one. I don't know.
I think you're famous enough that with just the voice, a lot of people will just recognize you already.
I have no idea. I listen to you all the time, so I recognize you, but I don't recognize myself.
I'm so sorry. Cool. So
so
how is the week going so far?
Yesterday was a relief because I felt after yesterday, it's like, wait, all of my obligations here are done because we had done our steering council Q&A. Right. We'd done lightning talks and presentations earlier. It's like, oh, you just get that little lovely feeling of, wait, now I can just do the chatting about issues and synchronizing on things with people and stuff that I thought I was here for. As opposed to the first day of look at all these presentations and ideas.
How do you think the steering council Q&A went?
That actually went I don't know. To me, that felt better than any previous one, but that doesn't mean I can even remember the previous one.
Right.
So.
Yeah. For me to say.
So it went well. Yeah.
I mean, this is in all the core developer sprints, we try to have this steering council Q&A. Always starts with this 5 minutes of weird silence. Until
yes, all right, what do people want to talk about? Crickets chirping. You can add some cricket sounds.
Right. Yes. He knows. He's an expert.
He's got a soundboard.
All right. But now that you have the freedom from the steering council obligations, what are you working on? What things are you looking at right now?
Things I started to look at is there's been recent conversations around, for example, the os.stat API and I guess a more recent statx system call on Linux. And we had been going back and forth, Victor and I, and the person whose name is escaping me right now because I never remember any names, who proposed the original change on terms of what this should look like. Should os.stat call statx? Should we have an os.statx? We have the general, at least what I see it is the general philosophy of OS is generally the low-level module that's just a wrapper around the system APIs, which that's a vote in favor of os.statx, which is basically where we're leaning. But it does raise the question of that's mirroring POSIX APIs, and Windows isn't POSIX, so therefore Windows it's calling its own equivalent other things, and that's why I think ST birth time, which is some form of creation time that's not the same time as the other times you can get on files, kind of thing. That's why that field got added to stat, but then you have to do a different system call on Linux, and it's how should that be exposed? And you look at it and it's we have higher level APIs for some file system things like pathlib, which maybe we need a higher level API for getting the stat stuff because of the old stat API. If you look at it and you can kind of laugh and say, is this a tuple? Yes and no, because it used to be a tuple, and then there was another field that wanted to be added, all code would break if you do that.
Field, yeah.
So it's this weird os.stat result or whatever it's called type, and so it's
struct,
we would
struct sec.
struct seek, something like that. We would like to get off of that weird concept because it's like all of these fields always being filled in, and some are tuple-ish and others aren't. And
also, you have been so active and you have been all over the place, but a lot of people don't know that you maintain quite of the most tricky parts, right? The OS module and the multiprocessing module.
Yeah, how the hell did I inherit that thing? But yes, I do.
Yes. The multiprocessing expert. Wow. Which one is your favorite? Is the OS module or the multiprocessor?
Oh, the OS module's easy. That's like it is.
Well, for you, right? Yeah.
I say easy, but just compared to something like multiprocessing,
yes,
the OS module is a simple, straightforward wrapper that I trust that most people can deal with coming up and doing things in.
But I mean, people complain, but people keep using it, so it's not that bad.
I mean, multiprocessing is extremely useful. It's extremely important. It's just you look at the internals and you're going to have a bunch of raised eyebrows, certainly more eyebrows than I have. Right. As you look at this code is doing what? This also has these other features. It's like, oh boy.
Yes. We were talking, listeners don't know, but we were talking precisely like one of my, probably the third or the fourth PR that I did ever to CPython. Greg ensnared me into fixing a bug in the multiprocessing model.
Did? Wow.
And I was like, wow.
Why did you not take ownership?
But I now learned the technique. I learned the technique now, so now I just nerd other people into fixing things. Cool.
I'm a big fan of trolling other people into doing work, which is,
you're very good at it. You're really
people
good at it.
laugh at the word trolling, and it's like, well, it's not really supposed to be bad trolling, but it really is just seeding the idea. Nerd sniping is probably what you should say.
Right, yes.
Get someone else to do
more
something.
Proper. Well, I have.
This is very open source. So, this is how you get contributors. It's like you can make someone interested in doing something and give them the yes, they can symbols, signs, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, in your defense, I had a lot of fun. And I discovered the wonders of the multiprocessing module and all the weird avenues. Yeah. So what we are doing this question, everyone. So what is your most favorite feature in 3.14? Or the one that you are more excited about?
I mean, I'm most excited about free threading being something that might be usable.
We're close. Right. Do you think
that's really why I want to be using 14 for everything. I want to see what crashes and what doesn't work, and I know we're going to have a ton of work cut out for us, but that's my super excitement there.
It's true. It's still not...
I'm sorry, I didn't highlight anything involving new colors and weird, all the things you guys come up with, but
we are here for the truth. Nobody cares about Google slang. He's not even in control right now.
I can't even pronounce that name in any possible way.
Well, the transcript of the podcast it doesn't transcribe well. It transcribes as Ukes Langa.
Oh, yes.
Well, Greg, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, been a pleasure.
All right. Let's play. Well, Thomas, how does it feel to be on the other side of the podcast?
On the other side of the podcast? Yes, I've been here before.
Of course, but we did the last time we were together in a audio experience was your audio experience.
Yes. Well, mine hasn't been published yet. So also I haven't finished editing that episode because it's a nightmare.
Exactly. So how do you feel? Gugus Langa, the slowest person to edit the episodes, is publishing faster than you are.
He also only had to deal with you and maybe one guest. And I had to deal with you and him and 4 other people, right?
That's true. And all horrible mics. Yeah, that was a horrible array of mics.
Oh, the mics.
Yes. I am so sorry.
I almost, not quite decided to buy Isotope RX Professional just to get rid of, then you press one button and it's all gone.
Yeah, well, that's what they say, but...
Yeah, no, I've heard the difference from people who do this professionally, and but if it had been on sale, I might have bought it, but it wasn't on sale, so I'm not going to buy it because I know they do the sale thing very often. But.
Right. It's all pretend. Well, Thomas, do you like to play games? So I have some games for you.
Okay.
What do you think? So this is not your favorite feature of 3.14. What do you think is people's most favorite feature of 3.14?
According to
what people have already said in the podcast.
Core developers, right?
Yes, we are not inviting our employees.
I wasn't sure who you were talking about. It's hard to say because I think it's going to be the REPL. The REPL changes. So that's syntax highlighting in the REPL.
No, you fail. Well, I mean, okay.
You don't know yet.
Technically, you didn't fail. You failed so far, but because by the magic of editing, you may be right. Okay.
I'm just going to go around and tell people when they ask that question.
time effects. Like this is primer
No, but
now. This is primer.
obviously-
Like we have modified the past. No. Jesus.
Obviously, if I were to go and do that, I would tell them to say free threading, and then I will also say free threading, because that's the part that I'm most excited about, because all the other things are, I mean, the REPL is nice. Like the syntax highlighting is nice. The typing changes are maybe useful. I don't know. And I don't even remember anything else that's new in 3.14. So, like, I remember hashlib, not hashlib.
You don't remember anything else?
Yeah, not
No,
really.
like so. Not even if we dress like bananas, we will make you like pay attention
Oh,
to our
yes, of course.
stuff.
I forgot.
Oh.
It doesn't register as 4.3.14 because that was months ago, man.
Yes, actually.
Like only one person called you Pablo Bananas in my survey, and that was
Pablo
a month
Bananas.
after Pablo Bananas.
I'm pretty sure it was Greg.
It was probably it was either Greg or Barry, because I think Barry was
Oh
drunk
yeah, it's true.
when
it's true,
he
it's
filled
true.
out the survey.
It's true. The party was drunk.
I think so. Yeah.
That's the best way to fill surveys or so. Like yeah. Man, I missed opportunity. I should have done that for sure. All right, okay. But what is now? Well, okay. You said you don't remember your favorite feature.
Well, I mean, I really do like those features, but also I think the thing that I enjoy most is the syntax highlighting in the REPL. And the thing that will be most useful, I think, long term is free threading. And then the observability and the debugging, the remote debugging, that is
boring.
No, it's life changing, but it needs like people to pick it up, right? I mean, free threading does as well, but
So the language special and free threaded.
I mean, it's all good except the typing changes. It's all good.
We are keeping them. We are keeping them.
I know,
That thing,
I know.
The drama has been commented so far.
Yes.
Yes, we put you on the spot. All right. But now, what are you working on this week? Huh?
Well, you tell me.
No, I'm just the host, dude.
Well, you made me.
I made you.
Yes, you made me get involved in lazy imports, reviving lazy imports.
The revenge. Yes. Ugh, this
Which-
time good.
Which, of course, you and I were on the steering council that rejected lazy imports. So,
Whoopsie. Well, but it
so
makes
you admit
sense.
that's a mistake, right?
I mean, not as a whole. We didn't like that flavor. We like in blue.
yes, yes.
It
So
was
we're
too
making
green.
it in
It was
blue.
too green. Do you remember?
We're making it in blue, but also you can change the color if you want.
I mean,
Like unlike some other features, we actually want that to be a thing.
I mean,
right?
the
Being able to
patch went
choose your own
from-
colors.
yes, except it's under a private module that people are not supposed to use and whatnot.
No, that's what I'm saying. We want this to be
Okay.
you know.
Well, apparently, I've been told that you can change the REPL colors if you pip install REPL hacks. That's a thing now.
Nice.
Don't do it, kids. Responsible people don't let people play with REPL hacks. But we have a keyword now and all sorts of things, right? And the patch, instead of being 8,000 disgusting lines, now is like 800 lines.
Well, you haven't heard the latest news yet because Dino realized that what we want won't actually work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because from module lazy import a name doesn't work because we can do from dot import a name. But then you can also do from dot lazy import a name.
From .lazy.
Yeah, like if you have you're in a package and you have a submodule called lazy, then from dot lazy import name imports the module named lazy.
But that's not a problem. Why would that would be a problem?
Because we're saying it's lazy import, right? So it's from dot lazy import name.
But the dot and the lazy need to be together, no?
No.
Really? I'm
Yes,
pretty sure
because
it
it's a token and there can be white space around tokens.
No, but we can assign precedence.
No, you can already say from space dot space lazy import foo, and it means a
Well,
thing.
the keyword,
in
I'm
Python,
not
and it
concerned.
works.
It means that you need to put the keyword in a different place.
It means what?
It means that we need to put the keyword in a different place. That's all.
Yeah, we need to do lazy from import.
Yes.
That's the only thing that will work.
Yes. Whatever, man. You just give me a heart attack, and I was just playing cool here, and it's like some bullshit problem. Like whatever. Maybe we should go with what people don't like. Like
I just like to see you sweat.
yes, maybe lazy dash import, lazy hyphen import.
Yeah, well, it would work with lazy hyphen import. Yes.
Lazy underscore import.
I'm still a favor of lazy hyphen
We
import.
should propose like some bad shit like lazy
Or
underscore import, and then
import
everybody
slash-
will center there.
Import/lazy is also just so sublime.
Backslash, like backslash.
No, forward slash.
okay.
Like arguments on the Windows command line.
Ooh. That will,
A
two times.
modifier.
Oof. Exquisite. All right. Well, very exciting news. Do you think it's going to get through?
50-50.
50-50. Brett Cannon thinks it's 90.
Yeah, but he's the eternal
No,
optimist.
50-50. What do you mean? No. It's more than that. I mean, it's not.
We'll see
100.
how people receive. Like, I think it's incredibly valuable for specific use cases. I think the question is, do the people who don't really care about those use cases see this as like a catastrophically bad thing, bad idea, bad complexity?
No,
If they're like, it's okay, then it'll go through. But if we have like two camps where one camp sees the benefit and the other doesn't see the benefit and doesn't agree with the cost for this feature, then it's going to be a hard sell.
Yeah, because it's nothing. All right, but yes.
No, well, the maintainability and like I agree with you, but also I don't know what other people.
Well,
think.
but our design is now like clean and pristine and no more dictionary internals bullshit. Like no, exquisite.
Have you gotten Mark to sign off on it?
Mark won't sign out of anything. Like Mark doesn't sign out on stuff. That's what Mark does. What do you mean, like this? Of course I haven't. Well, okay, we will ask him.
Yeah, you should ask him.
All
Yeah.
right. I will ask D-Sanon to sign in the thing. Well, thank you very much, Thomas.
All right, we have with us Paul Ganssle, the person interested in the Earth not being flat, in fact, having many time zones, and the problems this brings. So, Paul, we've been in Cambridge right now. That's literally GMT 0. How are you feeling here?
It feels all right, yeah. I mean, they still do have daylight saving time here. So actually, wait, it's British summertime, right? So
Currently, it's summertime, yes.
so it's actually +1, right?
Oh no, I was wrong, and you were right.
Yeah, I do think that the time zone knowledge is one of those things where it's kind of like, if you ever talk to a linguist, you might think like, oh, you must speak a bunch of languages because you're a linguist, and like a lot of linguists are like, no, I speak one language. I just like really know about morphosyntaxis of like one specific aspect of English or of some language that maybe I speak. And I think time zones is kind of a similar way. Like I know a lot of weird edge cases, but I'm dreadful at like what. Which direction is it? If it says like UTC -4, I'm like, I don't know. Is that east or west or something like that? So I have some higher level knowledge about like how time zones are managed and things like that. But like, it's one of those things like a calculator where, because I have the calculator and I know how to use it, I don't really ever do it in my head.
So are you happy with the current state? How we deal with time zones currently in Python? Are there any things that like you still think need improvement?
It's a complicated question, I suppose, because it's sort of relative to what? Like, if I were to design datetime again from the ground up, I would use a completely different set of abstractions. I think what they're doing in JavaScript with temporal is like really good. And I would want to do something closer to that where you have a clearer distinction between civil times and absolute timestamps. I certainly wouldn't have datetime be a subclass of date. And there are other, things like the aware and naive time zones are like the same class. But without writing a whole new datetime module from scratch, I think we're doing okay. Like there's not a ton to fix, or there's not a ton to fix that we really can fix. So I'm reasonably happy with it, especially now that we have zone info, which feels like it was created very recently, but I think I made it in like 2019, and it's been in since, 3.9 or 3.10, which is like, it's way end of life, every version of Python that doesn't have it, which feels weird to me.
Nice. So date time would not be subclassing date. What's the problem with that?
Well, because like date times are not dates. like they're kind of it would probably be better for it to be composed than inheritance, right?
I see.
Because it's not a time. It doesn't have all the same categories as a time. It doesn't have all the same attributes as a date either. Date has this today thing, and then date time also has a today, but it also has a now, and they do basically the same thing, except now has a time zone. So if we were to keep things mostly the same and I could just rearrange the inheritance hierarchy, I would probably make it so that a date is its own thing, a time is its own thing, and then a date time is its own third thing, which may be composed of those things, or it may be composed of all the same things, and you can construct one from the combination of those two things. I would also not put time zones on time objects. That's the weirdest thing. I don't know why it was attached that way. I think because a time is just what time it is during the day, on the clock,
right.
And that has no reference to the absolute time. A date plausibly has a time zone, right? Because if you think of a date as a period of time, and it encompasses maybe 24 hours, maybe 23, maybe 25, you could plausibly say okay, it's a period of time. It's this period of time in this time zone. Whereas with a time, it's I don't know, it's 12 o'clock in New York, but without a date, you have no idea. You have no way to turn that into anything
right,
else.
because of DST, you literally cannot tell.
Yeah, you don't know. You need the date part. If you just had a date, theoretically you could look at okay, what is it at midnight, and then what is it at the end of that at 11:59, and then say okay, that gives me, it would be ambiguous whether that date is in daylight saving time or what the time zone name is or something, but at least it represents something, a concept that is coherent. Whereas with a time, it doesn't really.
So you're saying zone info is old history right now. So what's interesting for you in Python 3.14?
These days I haven't had as much time to contribute as I would like. So most of what I've been working on at the sprint is just burning down issues that have come up. I used to also be very involved in packaging. I used to maintain setup tools with Jason and other folks. I've stepped back a lot from that, but I still have some foot in the packaging world. So I also spent a decent amount of time this sprint talking to Pradyun and E about, I think we're going to try and possibly propose a PEP or something to make it so that you can declare conflicts metadata between packages.
What does that mean?
Well, if you have two packages and maybe one of them doesn't depend on the other one, but you know that if they're both installed at the same time, that things will start to break. This could be that you have two implementations of the same thing in the same namespace or whatever. There's currently no way to express that.
But who does need to know? Where does that belong then?
Well, pip needs to know it so that it can bail out. Or probably where this is going to be most useful, right, is in a situation where you say, okay, it's not so much that these packages are incompatible, but that these packages, some package is upper bounded or something of that nature, right? So it's I'm using whatever, some geography or geology or whatever library, right? And under the hood, that uses NumPy or pandas or something. And if you have too high of a version of NumPy or something, it will break whatever assumptions I'm making, even though I don't have a dependency on NumPy. And so what you do is you say, okay, this conflicts with NumPy greater than 15, and then pip can resolve to an earlier version of NumPy. The other part of this, I think, is finding a way to retroactively. Well, I don't want to say modify, but it's more append metadata on PyPI. So, right now, once you upload a package to PyPI, it's up there. So if you say requires Python 3.11 or something, that means anything above 3.11. it's not a good idea to say requires Python less than 3.14 or less than 3.15 because you don't know if your package is going to break with the next version of Python. But at some point, if your package does break, you do know. But because it's immutable on PyPI,
you cannot add this information.
Yeah. So, and this is really bad because if you think about it, what can you do to solve this, right? You make a new release that says the top one, that the new version doesn't work, right? And then what does pip do? It goes, oh, this version doesn't work with the new Python.
So the old one will be downloaded, but it still doesn't work.
Yeah. So you then have to go and yank every old version and then make post releases or something.
Which people don't want because they might be using an old Python where that version is fine. Right?
Yeah. Well, you would make a new post release that just has the new metadata, but it's still, then I've also had a lot of problems with like, when I make post releases, Conda picks something up and it's like people are like kind of weirded out by it because they're like, there's
post
no
one,
difference.
post two, yeah.
Well, yeah, and like Conda doesn't care about any of this stuff because they have their own system.
I see.
So, like, I don't know. It's fine, but it would be much nicer if we could just do something where we say, all right, here's like some extra metadata that you can add, and this part is append only, and all it does is say, the new version of SciPy came out and it doesn't work with this, or the new version of Python came out and it doesn't work with this.
So you would append it to existing packages on the index?
Yeah, so it would be a modification to the simple index, and then probably, we've only talked about it a little, but probably we'll have something where we upload also a new metadata file or just a diff file or something. So the only thing that's allowed in that diff file would be new conflicts, and you can only set the conflicts Python once.
Sounds good. Any other feature of Python 3.14 that you are excited about, even if you weren't involved?
I mean, the REPL is getting, okay, so this is not fan service here.
Scaring points.
I'm not going, I almost forgot that you guys were so involved in that, but like every time I get to use, like, if I use like 3.13, I'm like, what is this nonsense? And then 3.14, I get some nice color. It's more like, I used to always just have IPython installed and I use that. And then now it's like, I just got to make sure that my aliases are up to date and I'm good.
All right. I'm happy to hear that. Like, I'll take it. And the other question that we ask everybody who's here, especially if I'm looking at your pink shirt with some pineapples wearing sunglasses. There was no pineapple pizza, but there were plenty of kinds to choose from this week. Which one was your favorite?
Of the pizza that we had here?
Uh-huh.
I'm not really a big carb guy, so I think I may have only eaten the cheese pizza, maybe. I would have eaten pineapple pizza, though.
You would have, yeah.
I really like, I like a little crunch and a little sweet, so when I first found out that people put corn on pizza, I was like, I'm sold. I love this. But it's too carby now, That was back when I didn't just eat, plain chicken breast grilled.
I see.
Get some protein for 100 calories or whatever.
All right. Thanks for joining us here and sharing what you're up to.
Cool.
Amazing. Do you want to introduce yourself to our listeners so they know who you are?
Hi, I'm Pradyun Gedam.
We don't know each other, right? We don't work together or anything.
Yes, exactly.
Certain corporations. All right. But tell for the people that don't know you, tell our listeners what do you work on in CPython?
I am
outside.
Okay. I help maintain and ensure pip to whatever extent that I do, and I'm starting to get involved in the JIT hopefully in the coming weeks, and generally help with all sorts of packaging related interactions that the interpreter has, or I guess the project as a whole has.
Well, and also you're a pip maintainer as well, right?
Yes,
very
indeed.
Very important. It's also relevant in the podcast. All right, so what are you working on this week?
Mostly, it's been catching up on sort of what's the state of the JIT and sort of what it looks like to get involved with in all of that work now, as well as related discussions around packaging stuff. Whether it's, how does this iOS thing work, or what does the packaging council stuff look like for for folks who are interested in that conversation and
All right, because like,
engaged
this
in
is a thing that a lot of people don't know. You are working on a PEP with Barry, no?
Barry Warsaw and Deb Nicholson.
About a future packaging council.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us, our listeners, about that a bit? That sounds very interesting.
The Packaging Council is the idea for replacing the current somewhat ad hoc mechanisms for making decisions and improvements in the packaging space, from sort of being delegated by the steering council to specific individuals to moving to a council that gets elected by a group of voters. One of the things that's in contention at the moment is who that group of voters will be.
Because right now there is a single, right? People think that the steering council actually does the packaging decisions, but that's not. There's a single person.
Two people.
Two people. I thought, oh, really? Like,
Yes. So there's two kinds of delegations that the steering council has. One goes to Paul Moore for all the interoperability stuff. So I think packaging interoperability specs.
Right.
And there's a separate delegation to Donald Stuft for all of the package index interactions.
Correct. And is the packaging council going to take both?
Yes, that is the plan. The other aspect that the packaging council should also get oversight on is the packaging working group that the PSF has. That gets any targeted funds around packaging fall under their purview today. And that would move to the packaging council as well. Essentially, this becomes a sibling council to the steering council. The two groups working together is already a thing that happens. There is overlap between the PyPA and the packaging core team, or Python core team.
Python core team, yes. New terminology that we are working on. Yes. Do you plan to run, or you don't have it decided yet?
I have not decided yet. I'm still firmly in the let's get this to a place where it's accepted and in place, and that's when I will be like, okay, what does this look like? Do I want to do this?
Right. Now, people will love to have you in the. I mean, you have been super involved with everything. Like a lot of people don't know, but Pradyun here is one of the people that maintain the TOML specification.
Indeed.
From the PyProject.toml. Which is also using like Rust and whatnot, right? Yes.
It is one of the more popular schema languages or
markup more languages. Than YAML. yes, everybody hates YAML. So yes, absolutely. Cool. So we are asking this question to everyone. And I know that being a core developer, this is a question about your past, but it's about also listeners' future. What is your, yes, they're weird, right? But like you will see. What is your favorite feature of 3.14? Now it makes sense.
It does. Probably the fact that free threading is now supported.
This is winning a lot. The colors in the REPL is not having a lot. The language special is not making it. All right, free thread is now supported. Actually, no, it's 3.15 the first support.
3.14.
3.14? All right. I should look at the.
You should look at the release that happened today.
Yes. Well, that was not an easy release to get out, but yes. Yeah, just 1 month until we get the thing. Yeah.
Indeed. Almost there.
Right. What is your so from all the things that you have been working on this week, one that you want to highlight? No?
I haven't been working on anything.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, you have been catching up with
it's mostly been social catch-up. And not a ton of, like, sit on CPython and triage issues or make PRs
then what is the conversation that you have been more excited to have that is not related to pizza and the lack of other options?
Almost definitely catching up on sort of what it looks like to contribute to the JIT right now.
Right.
Yes, that's been a substantial portion of my days here so far.
Right.
And I think that's the more interesting thing that I can get involved in next, maybe.
Well, thank you a lot, Pradyun.
Cheers.
Well, I don't think you need a presentation here, but like if there is any person on the Python community that doesn't know you, like now is the time to say who you are.
I'm Carol Willing. I am one of the core developers of CPython, and I love all things about education and empowering people to learn how to use science or art or music. And I'm really happy to be chatting with Pablo.
And we are super excited to have you in the podcast. This is the first time, actually, right?
It is the first time on this podcast.
We should fix that. We should have a full hour episode. Like these interviews are 5 minutes because like otherwise we'll be here another week. people will like more Carol. So like, you know, we'll fix it. We will fix it in the future. But now a sneak peek. Okay, Carol. So we've been here discussing Python and talking about a lot of things. What is your favorite discussion so far?
Wow, that's a hard one.
Always hard questions.
I think I won't say there was one particular discussion, but to me, always the future of Python is what's most important to me, because I think it unlocks so many doors to so many different people across so many different domains. And it is a 30-year-old language. And I want it to be around 30 years from now. And the only way it will be is if we continue to adapt and experiment and, you know, and so anything that helps sustain the language, makes it faster, makes it easier to use, I'm all for it.
Right. So Carol is also super involved in the scientific community. Like one of the things that I think we were discussing the other day that people are very excited about is free threading, right?
Absolutely. And I think one of the reasons people are excited about free threading is there's been a lot of great work, both by the folks that are working on free threading, but also in particular, Nathan and Lysandros, who've done a great job documenting how do you port your scientific library to use free threading. And having those support materials makes it much more successful and easy to use, because we don't typically use just one library in scientific computing. It's a suite of them. So we kind of need them all ported over to get the real benefit.
Right. So you also have been super involved in the docs. So like from the docs perspective, like a lot of people are commenting and, you know, free threading is a very complex area and it's new. And it's something that, you know, Python is exposing now. So do you think there is anything the project can do to make, like, not only, you know, the life of like professional developers easy, but like, especially you also care a lot about education, as you mentioned. So what do you think we can do better in the core team to, you know, ensure that from the documentation point of view, like the free threaded project is successful?
Yeah, I mean, I think high quality documentation is always good. I think what I tend to encourage people, I'm going to do a keynote next week about question-driven development. And really, I think one of the things that's helped me persist all these years is asking questions like, okay, how can I make this better? How can I break this? How can I make it faster? And I think the documentation is a starting point for a developer. Doesn't need to provide all the information, but enough to get you to the next step. And I think one of the things I learned within Python was the community. You know, I can think back when Donald Stuff taught me the best way to install packages a decade or so ago. And I think, you know, the documentation should give you a flavor, but you know, other people's resources as well. I think the one thing when it comes to free threading that we want to sort of stress is how some patterns or best practices for how to deal with mutable data when you have more than one thread. And it's really just defensive programming in general. And, you know, by asking those questions, like something's not working, how did it break? You know, I will often tell people, try memory, you know, because you can see what's going on in real time. And so I think it's going to be people learning workflows and things to make it more effective.
Right. If I borrow one of the WCAGs here, I'm pointing to WCAGs, people cannot obviously see it, but like I really like one metaphor you used the other day. Like this is a bus, not a Uber, no? Like you know, the documentation.
That was a great metaphor.
I don't know if you stole it or something, or it was your own, but like that was very good. So it's like, in this case, what you're saying is basically this, no? Like the documentation should help you arrive to the place, but not necessarily, you know, leave you exactly there.
Exactly. And, you know, if you get 80% of the way there with the documentation, awesome.
Right.
Use your resources, friends, whatever, to get the other 20% of the way.
Right.
And if you only make it 20% in the documentation, we want to know about that because we would like you to get 80%. But, you know, it's a journey.
So since I actually started to use Python like long ago in the scientific world, as you know, I used to be a physicist on a past life or something. But the thing has changed a lot, and especially the scientific community is getting not only these free-threaded changes, but also is reacting more eagerly to new releases, right? Like it used to be that getting NumPy on Python 3.10. I remember when I released 3.10, it took almost half a year, if not a year, for NumPy to be available there. But right now, it's almost the next day. So, is there anything you think, now, as you are very, you know a lot of people in the scientific community, do you think that there is any change there, anything that the project has done?
I think there's been several changes. I think one of the things, like when we were on the steering council together, we recognized that getting people the ability to use Python early releases in CI was super important. And by doing that, I think it helps because you can just automatically run your tests and see what happens. I think there's also been two organizations in particular in the scientific community, PyOpenSci and Scientific Python, which are two groups that sort of share best practices with the scientific community of workflows, projects, how to, packaging guides, things like that. And so I think it's the scientific community sharing resources and supporting each other. But I think definitely, having those early releases. I also think having the developers in residence has also really helped.
Lucas is winking here.
Yes, but it's given us a continuity, and they have a very good sense of where we need to focus effort in terms of improving things. And I think that's been hugely valuable as well.
That is true. So we have one question, and also it comes with the realization that this question for a lot of people is about the future, but it's about your past. So what is weird question, but it's cool. What is your favorite feature of Python 3.14? Wow, indeed.
Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, free threading excites me.
Free threading one.
But I also think some of the usability stuff that the last couple releases, when it comes to the REPL and error handling or whatever, when I go out and speak to groups, that is really what sort of has an impact on them, because, like we said, we can get you 80% of the way, but they need to do the other 20%.
Right.
And that helps them a lot.
Right.
And
this one comes with colors thanks to Guido Langer here.
I know.
Yes,
they love the colors. I love the colors.
Amazing, of course. Well, we were talking with Mark, and it features like the new garbage collector thing that, if you recall, we have to delay to 3.14, but that is good coming for the first time in 3.14.
Yeah.
And we couldn't believe it, right? Because this is 1 year ago, right? But yeah. It's kind of weird that this is about what people are going to experience, and for us it's all news.
Yeah, well, and garbage collection is super important, because if you have a memory leak and a runaway thing, if you don't do garbage collection,
of course, right.
bad things happen.
And for free thread, it's now even more critical, right? Because
absolutely.
Well, we will have to keep chatting, Carol, but otherwise we will end with 6 trillion minutes with everyone. So thank you very much, and we will fix the fact that you have not been in the podcast before. So thank you, Carol.
My pleasure. It's always great to see both of you.
We have with us Guido, who's been with us the entire week at ARM as well. What have you been up to this week?
Morning, Łukasz. I've actually not written any code. I've not even reviewed any code. I've been talking to a lot of people, just catching up. How have you been? What you're working on sometimes.
Right.
Then when I think I pushed Diego on Monday for a lightning talk, because I came up with the idea, and I forget where it came from, probably from the documentary, that I wanted to do an oral history from the first 25 years of Python.
So the early history up until sort of what? Because we're 33 years of Python at this point?
Well, okay, to me it's 35, because I started in 1990. And I'll 2 weeks before 1990 technically started, but I still think of it as it was developed in early 1990. released in February 1991.
Right. So you were like talking to people, interviewing people for your project?
Yeah, I've interviewed 3 people so far, I believe. Thomas, you, and Brett.
Mm-hmm. So, like, is there any form of like the artifact that you want to produce out of it? Like, what do you think will happen with those interviews after?
My plan is to first transcribe the audio, insofar as I have it, and then not publish that literally,
right,
but extract a story from each of those interviews. I think I'll just post it on my very old blog. I did a few things on Medium, but Medium is weird, so I think I'll just go back to my very, very old blog that looks like it was started in 2001, and it probably was.
But it's fine. It turns out like those things tend to be like way more long-lived, right? And easier searchable and so on. So looking forward to that. Like, have you been following what other people are working on?
Well, I've witnessed some pretty heated debate about free threading, a bit about the JIT. And yesterday I played hooky and went to the National Museum of Computing in Bletchley Park, which is not as close by as I thought, but was very much worth the trip.
Oh, so you liked it?
I loved it.
So you see the real like Enigma decoding machine and stuff?
They don't actually have a real one because everything was destroyed at the end of the World War.
I see.
But eventually, I think after the 80s, the plans for the original ones were disclosed, were made public. And they've rebuilt it based on, I guess, a few old photographs.
Right.
And the actual diagrams used to construct it.
Cool. We ask this everybody, so we'll ask you, like, feel free to answer however you like. For us, it's a bit of a history too already, but we're asking everybody what their favorite feature of 3.14 is, since it's going out soon.
This is gonna take a while before I think what 3.14 has. Oh, no, I know. Absolutely. The lazy evaluation of type annotations.
Yes, 649 and 749.
Yes, absolutely.
Cleaning up after like a premature attempt, huh?
Well, yeah, I know it's personal for you.
Well,
I'm just struggling with sort of organizing my imports and my modules so that I don't have import cycles. Because at that level, they're fatal.
Yes. Okay. So this is indeed a good improvement. We like to see that. There's some talk about further meddling with the imports for 3.15. So we'll see how that goes. But there's no PEP yet. We'll see. There was one.
I think I know what you're talking about. And
yeah.
I personally don't write code at a large enough scale to want that, but I know that that's a thing that people who do write large code bases would love to see.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was already in favor of the previous attempt.
Okay, so
I think in the end it was right that the steering council rejected it, because the edge cases, if something fails to import,
are non-obvious.
Is pretty annoying.
Yeah. Well, I think personally, I like to think that a form of deferred lazy imports, however you call them, would help us maybe regain ground in a use case that we used to be the default choice for, now losing to Rust, which is command line tools. Like, a lot of them are now being written in Rust. Like, do you have any opinions on that?
I find it very strange, because parsing a command line is not something that's compute intensive. And so it must be purely about startup time of little Python utilities. And if we can make that faster through judicious use of lazy imports or something like it, that would be very helpful.
I think what most people used to complain about the CLI is that indeed you normally don't just parse the output, you import all the functionality. And normally your CLI does different things, but you pay for everything. So just showing help sometimes takes like 1 second. I think the Azure CLI...
Azure had problems with that because they...
Yeah, so I think it's mostly about like having a good UX, that if you have a CLI that does like 5 things, you only pay for the ones that you want.
I would have solved that with some kind of shim where if there is a callback function that's directly tied to a flag, I would make the callback function do the import of the actual code. But if you didn't think of that, and now you have 200 command line options, it's kind of painful to switch.
Exactly right. So the most transformative thing about 3.14 is that now free threading is a supported mode of use of Python. What's your thoughts about like whether this is a risky move for the regular average Python programmer, or this is something that you think is going to be mostly fine? Like are you worried about the regular Python programmer like being now exposed to more I don't know, risky programming, like bugs that they cannot debug and stuff like that? What do you think?
Not so much for 3.14, I think. I don't know exactly. Is it available in the standard binary that you install?
It's a separate one, so you will have like 3.14t. In macOS, like you get that. In Windows, you get that by default. But like in different sort of distributions, it might ship or not by default for you. You might need to actually just select that you actually want that free-threaded version as well. So the libPython is separate, it's 3.14t, and so on.
So, but sort of at least on Mac and Windows, those just come with the standard installer. So you have to use a different start.
Yeah.
And that's going to mean that people are not going to use it by default.
Yeah, but by mistake for sure.
Or no, not by mistake for sure, yeah. So I think it'll have relatively little exposure. The other thing is that I don't know how many third-party packages are actually truly supporting free threading yet. That's something that now that at least there's a standard binary being distributed, people can start working on.
Right.
They don't have to wait for the next release. Although I think there's an issue with the ABI yet that...
Yeah, making stable ABI for free threading is something that Peter Victorian is working on. Yeah,
that seemed pretty controversial. I mean, there seem to be more ideas than people almost...
Yes, the problem there is essentially that currently we already have a stable ABI, but that's not the one that will be stable for free threading. So now our stable will have to be somehow changed, evolved, deprecated, and that is controversial. What do you think the end user experience should be for free threading? Like, obviously, we don't want people to just randomly start threads. How do you think people should be using the ability for threads to be truly parallel now in Python? You have any opinions on that?
I feel it's not rocket science. You can use threads currently. They're mostly good for overlapping I/O, not for overlapping compute. But we do occasionally randomly switch between threads that are all runnable and active.
Yeah.
And so if you don't lock your data structures that you're mutating, you're already not using threads right. There will certainly be people who think, oh, this is easy, now I can write my application using parallel threads, and they do things like create a bazillion threads and find that it doesn't actually work.
Right, yeah. I'm personally excited about replacing process pool executors like within async I/O with just thread pool executors, since now they're essentially allowing you to do the same thing without the cost of pickling something through the worker process.
Yeah.
So it's sort of structured parallelism in that sense that like you're not expecting to be like fully open to the world of threads, like with no like structure, like you're still async.io, but now you have the thread pool that you can use. All right, thanks for spending time with us, Guido. I hope you liked the sprint. I'm hearing the next one is going to be in North America, which should be a shorter trip for you next year.
I enjoyed taking the trip, actually. It was very funny. I discovered that there are 2 reunions, one of my high school and one of a club I joined as an adolescent. Were sort of bookending the sprint.
That's lucky.
Yeah, so last Saturday I had one reunion. Tomorrow I have another reunion. And then I still have like 5 or 6 days with friends and family in Amsterdam.
Nice, and also the weather was really, really good for us, right? Like people work as like Great Britain's terrible, but it wasn't. The entire week was mostly fine.
It was great.
All right.
I really enjoyed the sprint here.
Yeah. Thanks for being with us here.
Let's roll. Well. We are here with our favorite Canadian person, Brett Cannon. Who are you, man? Like, people don't know you these days. Like, you disappear. Of course not. Like, everybody knows Brett. But for the person, like, in the corner, like in Alaska maybe, that doesn't know who is Brett. Like, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Brett Cannon, and as mentioned, I am a very happy Canadian from Vancouver, and I've been here mostly actually learning and talking with people.
Learning?
Learning.
You are the one teaching.
Not this time.
Oh,
I know.
Because you have been around.
I have, and it's always interesting to hear people talk about how they're changing things that I helped make or finish or do way back when.
So just for people to get like for those people in Alaska that don't know Brett, like just mention, I don't know, like Alaska sounds remote, no? Like it's also like
such an American reference.
Yes. Do you know where I get this from? Because I use this expression a lot. I use it from this ex-KCD commit that, you know, the pile of Legos, and it's like project maintained by some guy.
Nebraska.
Okay, Nebraska. Well, Alaska sounds more remote.
It is more remote,
yes,
but
okay.
Canada is right next to it, so there are parts of Canada just as remote.
But tell us, like, the oldest feature you have done for Python.
I can tell you exactly what my first contribution ever was. That was the stirptime function in the time module.
The one that nobody knows how to pronounce.
Stirptime, yeah, or stirptime. Stirtime.
Dear listeners.
You're not the only one who maybe mispronounced something.
Not to be confused with the stirpt.
Yeah, the stirptime. Yeah. Stir F time versus stir P time, format versus parse.
So those mean something. It's not just some fucking random collection of letters.
No, the P stands for parse and the F stands for format.
Of course it does.
Of course it does, because it's the C standard, the banned illegal language.
Illegal language.
See, I'm might be a first-time guest, but I'm a long-time listener.
Of course, this is a sin. Why we never had Brett as a full episode? We need to correct so many mistakes here. Okay. We will do it. We will do it. Jesus, strip of thumb. I used to hate that function, by the way. I mean, I'm so sorry, but like, man, when I started to code in Python,
I didn't create it.
Python. This language, very intuitive, you know, is much better than C++ or whatever you're using these days, Pablo, like Fortran 77. And I was like, how do I format that string? Oh, you just use...
So that's because it comes from the C standards. Serif time is part of that.
And I was maybe as a computer scientist, you will be like, oh, okay, that is not that bad. But for me, also the glob module, like what the fuck is a glob? Like, okay.
Not intuitive all in the naming.
The glob module.
The glob?
Yeah, is glob?
I have no idea, but
I always thought it's like some kind of globby thing, like a glob module.
We might as well just lean into this whole mispronunciation thing.
Well, okay. Sorry, I'm losing it. All right, man. This is amazing. We should do this episode for an hour. Like it's just this, like laughing all the time. Anyway,
why do you call it Etsy? It's etc. It's ektka. Like why?
Yeah. I also think about it like ektka. Yes,
it's car, but we all call it char. It's not charcoal. Come on.
And I have all these people that say, "How do you?"
It's not charter.
I want to influence you. So C++. How do you say? You want to include the use vector, right? So you need to fully namespace it. So it's in the standard library. You say
Oh, use standard vector?
Standard vector, because there is a standard
STD.
vector is the a standard vector or
I don't say
yeah, exactly. So there is the British people like standard vector, and then
Or
there is
STD.
Like, there is the normal person STD vector, like
Yeah.
STD vector.
I probably
and then
say
there are
STD.
those guys that say STD vector, like what do you
No,
mean?
no,
STD
no,
vector? Like what the fuck?
It sounds like you stood up. No, it's
Yeah,
STD.
I have a friend that says STD vector. It's like what the
It's
fuck
not
is-
astute. That's if you were astute, you'd say STD.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that. Okay. Just let's not enter that. Yeah. All right, amazing. Fun week, as you can see. All like it has been like this week.
And it's not over yet.
We are just recording it. Yes. But how is the week so far for you? Like, where are you most excited about this week?
Well, actually, I've spent the last 2 days having Brent, also known as Stanley.
Justin.
That was I forgot.
Justin.
You finally stopped calling him Justin, so I forgot.
The author of legit.
Yes. Brant's been teaching a room of us about how to potentially help contribute to the JIT compiler.
The room was full.
Yeah, well, yeah, about 50%. We were spaced out a
It
bit.
qualifies as a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, well, admittedly, a quarter of them were the people who actually wrote the JIT, so
Now
kind of
it's-
stacked it.
Now it's dangerous, no? Because like if you think about it, this means that if this keeps being 0% faster, now after all these people are now working on it, it looks much worse. So now you have a fiduciary responsibility.
Well, I learned something. Doesn't mean I'm actually going to use anything with that knowledge. It could be useless knowledge. It could be useful knowledge. We'll find out.
So what did you learn?
Just basically the rough outlines of how the JIT operates and kind of where the points are of where things could potentially get filled in, such as the optimizer or how to actually write micro ops and just kind of where we could potentially come in as basically newbie contributors and kind of just help out.
Are you excited? Are you going to be a JIT person now?
I'm curious. I mean, I helped actually finish the work on the original AST and the compiler and all that stuff way back when Guido gave Jeremy Hilton, the original creator, a deadline to get it done, and so I chipped in to help get it over the finish line in time.
Right.
Way back in 2006, I think. And so I know how the compiler works and all that. So I was kind of A, curious to see how it changed, and B, just go like, okay, this is kind of the low level thing where you don't have to go in for like days and days and days. Once you know the process, adding this kind of stuff usually takes like maybe an hour or two, and just something to potentially do on a Friday if I don't want to do other open source stuff, because I don't want to look at my GitHub notifications.
Indeed, nobody wants to look at that insanity. It's like Lovecraft novels, right? Like you just go crazy, like the Necronomicon, like this is like, what is this? Right? Yes, right.
It will consume my soul.
Exactly. Yes. But you are coming from, you are retiring from the world of packaging because you are now very popular in the packaging circles, right? Because like finally.
I don't know yet. We'll find out in a couple of years whether I actually am or not, based on what people actually think of log files.
Right. You gave people what they wanted, you know, like bread and circus.
I hope so.
Bread and circus, like log files for everyone.
Yeah.
Log files for everyone.
Yes.
Not the log files that people are using right now, because like as we know, everyone is using a different log file.
Well, actually, the latest version of PDM actually will let you opt into using it as the log file.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. So is UV going to be the deserter here and like go with their own thing?
Yes, they're going to stick with their own thing because they have a concept called workspaces that is not standardized, at least yet. They have suggested they might once they think it's settled down enough
Are
to
they
do it.
nerd snipe you? Like who nerd snipe who?
No one, actually. It was... I have this nasty habit of looking at the Python community and trying to figure out where there's problems and then trying to solve those problems. And I looked at packaging and went, I could help there. This is what I did after helping with the Python 2 to 3 transition, which shows you what kind of masochist I am.
I think you were abducted by the packaging world, and like now you're trying to escape, no? Like you have a Stockholm syndrome.
Well, it's basically I realized the packaging world had a lot of, not disparate, seems a little too disjoint, but a lot of separate projects doing
I think disparate is a word. I said, I don't think this.
We can go with it. All right, we'll go with disparate. A lot of disparate projects kind of doing the same thing, and the only way to make those kinds of projects glue together and not have it be a problem for Python developers is to get them all to agree on the artifacts that they consume and produce. And so I took a look at what needed to be consumed and produced, and just started to go down the list and tried to, honestly, as a side effect, make things like setup tools a choice, not a requirement. And the goal was also to make pip a choice and not a requirement.
Whoa, big deal.
Yeah. So that's why I was worked on PyProject.toml and made that a thing. And after that happened and that helped make setup tools a choice, not a requirement, was to look at pip. And that meant being able to read things like requirements.txt files and stuff. And so that's a LUC file. And so that's when I started to tackle that problem.
Is it like how I mean, obviously here we are all core devs, so we have some semblance of this, but like I don't think as much as you. Like, how does it feel to just go around literally almost every project on the planet and seeing the fruit of your work there? You know, like, but people don't know you're like the silent hero.
It's weird. I mean,
it's not by bread. You know,
yeah, I mean, I've been a core developer since 2003. I actually just looked up who's here that's been doing it longer than me, and it goes Guido, Thomas, Greg, and then me. No one else has been doing it longer. And it's weird. It's one of those things of when I started Python, either people didn't know about it, or is it that language where white space matters? And that was the looks I got. I was like, I'm not sure if I know what I'm talking about. Right, is this what you're talking about? Or, huh? So it's very odd to go from that and a thing some people happen to use to a thing on Mars. Right? It's just, I don't think about it because it's a little mind-blowing.
There's potential life there that can know about your stuff.
Yeah, who knows? But I don't think about it, honestly. It's a little too mind-blowing to think the amount of stuff that it's touched. So I honestly just don't think about it on a day-to-day basis.
These utils on Mars. Welcome, go.
All of our horrible decisions will now forever live on the surface of Mars on a rover, just so we can get some video of a parachute to make sure the thing landed okay.
If this was a Asimov story, it would be like, the alien civilization trying to decide if humankind is like mature enough as a species, and then they find like these utils and they say like, what the fuck, nuke them all.
Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and they'll find the JDBST first, because that's run on JavaScript.
Like,
so.
The original story, like they come to the planet and they say, they discovered nuclear energy and they're using on their own planet. So they say they're using these utils on their own planet. sorry. This is an interview, not my podcast. Sorry, I couldn't stop. All right. So we are doing this question to everyone. So you have an excellent chance to disappoint Wouters Langa. Like everyone else.
Only gosh, I can destroy both of you at once. I can take on this challenge.
No. Like everyone else, or maybe no. We will see.
Okay.
What is your favorite feature of Python 3.14?
Oh wow. Hugo's Easter egg.
Oh, Gukas will do this, so I'm doing it because he cannot. Can we talk about it? Do you want? No, it's an Easter egg. Okay, you need to give a hint because like obviously people like Python is huge, right? Who knows what the Easter egg is, right? So you need to try to get a hint without giving it away. So listeners of Core.py can exclusively get exclusive access to a hint.
Not only is pie tasty, pie is also a symbol.
Interesting. I will search outside the interpreter, not in the interpreter, just in case. Because maybe someone is going to pour math and it's like, yeah, pi is here. No, we had pi from before. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the most interesting discussion so far from the sprint? That is not the JIT.
That is not the JIT. And the ones I caused count.
Select one.
Yeah, all the trouble I cause. It's always interesting to talk to people about the pre-built binaries because it's always to see all the opinions, including Pablo's.
Just.
And just what people want or don't want and how to potentially pitch it and try to make it work. Generally, people seem to be very supportive of the idea. The question is just the form and how to keep it going, potentially. It seems to be the consistent question.
Exactly. Like, just to be clear, I am supportive. Like, Pablo Galindo, publicly state I support this service or product. But
Oh, no. I want the full name with doctor at the front.
okay, Dr. Pablo Galindo Salgado supports this service or product.
There we go.
From Dr. Carol. But it's just like I don't want to start like starting a link in Spain.
Yeah,
like,
no.
it's like supporting the like a distribution. Like nobody wants this. Like,
No.
everybody will hate us.
And so Dr. Galindo Salgado's suggestion of basing it more on mini Linux and using the .sos on Linux specifically that will most likely already be there versus statically linking the world is probably the best solution. And
Yes.
honestly, what I was thinking of anyway.
Excellent taste, Dr. Carol.
I try.
I didn't expect less of you. Well, again, like we should have an entire episode. We are embarrassed to say that with only 16 people in, we are probably over like 100 minutes already. So unfortunately, I said we need to move on. But thank you very much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure. All right. Good
Yes.
sir. All right, good sir. Welcome to Core.py. So first, let's start with the first things first. Like you want to present yourself to our listeners so they know who you are.
I'm Erlend Aasland. I'm maintaining SQLite module and I guess parts of the build system like configure script. What other things? I guess, argument clinic.
Well, exactly, like quite complicated parts of the interpreter. Like first, SQLite, everybody uses this thing. Like even today, I learned the other day that apparently companies are using now one SQLite database per client. Amazing, crazy.
It's
stuff.
like the world's most used database.
Crazy things.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And now Python has, since I think 3.10, no? Like, or 3.11 that you started to work?
3.10 or late 3.9, I
Yes,
think.
it has tons of cool features. Amazing. You should look actually of all the new things. I think they are.
Yeah,
I actually
some
use a
new
bunch.
thing-
So a lot
new
of new
stuff,
cool
yeah.
things. Yes.
Yeah.
Argument Clinic, a very hairy part of CPython. Not easy precisely. Like the whole every time you call a C function is going through this code that generates.
Mm-hmm.
So tricky stuff.
Yeah, so me and Alex Waygood, we kind of refactored and typed up Argument Clinic a couple of years ago, which was a huge job.
Yes.
But
yes.
definitely made maintenance a lot more easier.
And there is few things that qualify as darker magic than the configure script. So
And Clinic.
that there is monsters. There are monsters there. So,
Yeah, two very dark places: Configure and Argument Clinic.
Exactly. So amazing. This is amazing. So what are you working on this week?
I'm actually just working on catching up because I've been having like almost a year pause from CPython development.
All right. So now
So
you
I
have
had, like,
all your
trying
GitHub
to get-
notifications.
Yeah, I'm
like
down
an
from
avalanche.
1,000 notifications.
Thousand
I'm
notifications.
down to like 500-ish. So
Wow,
it's
that's very
getting
impressive.
Yeah, it's
He closed them all.
uh,
He's like rejected.
Yeah, I've been perhaps a little bit too strict, but closing PRs, closing issues, reopening issues.
Wow, that's very impressive.
yeah.
Like I think I can do like I don't know, like maybe 20 a week.
No, I didn't close like 500.
But even I don't know, even if you close a lot, like this is impressive numbers. Okay. So since you have been catching up, I mean, obviously you have been focused on your work on these areas.
Yeah.
But interesting. I would like your perspective of like coming back. I suppose you have been following 3.14, no? Like
Vaguely,
silence maybe.
yeah.
Okay, but then have you take a look at the what's new and like just take a look about what's going on in 3.14?
Not yet.
Not yet. Have you? Okay, maybe this is the time. Have you opened the repo in 3.14? Have you noticed anything new?
I haven't opened. Did I open the REPL?
The
Yes,
REPL,
yes, of course.
Yes.
Of
This
course.
is the work of our one and only.
I did notice the REPL, yes.
So I'm asking because we are asking this question to everyone. Like, what is your favorite feature of Python 3.14? And so far, only one person has mentioned the colors in the REPL.
Yeah,
Would you be the second one?
I can be in the second one.
The
Sure.
second one, we
I
have
can
a
be the second
winner.
one, yes.
We have a winner. Lucas Langa 0. Sorry, not 2. Lucas Langa 2. The rest of the Python developer like 8 or something.
Sure, it's
like
my favorite feature.
All right. Qualified officially.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very much.
Well, we would love to have you more, but like we are already at like 200 minutes and it's like
It's fine, yeah.
So thank you very much, Erlend.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.
We have with us Tal Einat, joining us after a long hiatus in core development, but a person that I do recognize from the internet. So first time meeting us in person, but a long time contributor. Hi, Tal.
Hi, Lukas. It's a pleasure. And honestly, first time for me to meet everyone. I've never been at a core dev sprint or PyCon US or something. So
very cool. I always say, because I'm in Poland, that like, you know, when I give a talk, I say I'm from the internet, because like nobody's where I am. So like you can also say you're from the internet.
I am definitely from the internet.
Yeah, people know you from GitHub and from PEPs, actually.
I think just one.
Well, okay, so from the PEP.
The one PEP, yes.
Yeah, I'm hearing you're reviving that this week.
Yeah, PEP. This is PEP 661 Sentinels. Which I have been trying to move forward for quite a few years at this point. And yeah, I've picked it up again, and I'm hopefully will push it over the finish line within the next few weeks.
Sentinels. What are sentinels? It sounds vaguely like threatening. Sounds vaguely like dangerous. What is going on?
They are supposed to be very simple. Yeah. They are sort of like none. None is a great example of a sentinel object or value. In this case, the idea is sometimes we want something that is not none, that is like a placeholder or a special value that signifies something specific. So one example would be in data classes. There is a sentinel that says keyword argument only, KW only, which is a way to signify that something should only accept keyword arguments or something like that. And they're useful. There are about 30 of them in the standard library currently, and the PEP's idea is to make those more standard and more ergonomic.
Oh, so those are the ones that you, for example, pass, signifying that an argument was not passed to a function. So you have some sentinel value, such that you
very often they're used as default values for function arguments.
So that you can differentiate none from that fact that you didn't pass an argument.
So yes, very often they're used because none is a valid value to pass, and you want to differentiate that.
That has a meaning.
But they're also great because they have a specific name that allows you to signify, like give them semantic meaning. Like that fact that it's named KW only makes it much clearer than if it was none or some other.
Right. Or a string, right? That you can then mispronounce, misspell, you know, and so on and so on. Okay.
Exactly. And it also makes the help clearer. It makes the documentation clearer. It makes, and the PEP will also make it like the type annotation more useful and clearer.
Very cool. So this is going to be coming for Python 3.15.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Okay,
finally.
yes, fingers crossed. So, but 3.15, that's like sort of in the future still, right? We're still like in this phase of developing features for it well before even Alpha 1 at this stage. But what we just released the RC3 of is Python 3.14. Do you have anything in particular that you like about this release? Any feature that we added that you're like, oh, like I need to use this?
I've been on hiatus and have not been really following. I don't remember what is in 3.14 or not. I think like we have free threading as optional and available in 3.14, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's like the big one.
Takes
Being
the
able
cake.
to set a flag and run Python with, or get a build of Python with free threading. I think that's really the big one for me.
I agree with you. That wins. That takes the cake. So that's Python 3.14. We've been here all week. Is there anything in particular that you enjoyed?
I was thinking about pizza every day.
That is a running joke on like us interviewing here, like everybody here actually.
Just meeting everyone and talking with people, and you know, if I have a question, I can just ask someone in the room. It's been amazing, and just meeting all the people who have, for me, also just been internet people for my whole, like I don't know, professional life. Because I've been doing Python and seeing these people's names for over 20 years. So finally putting faces to names has been just great.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's almost like a little family reunion when we actually get to a conference. But this is better because there is less distraction. It's a very focused event, so I enjoy those a lot. So Sentinels, one thing that like if you can land this in 315, that will be a meaningful contribution. Do you have like any area of interest apart from that, like that you think like, oh, that's like I would want to fiddle with that a little more?
So I used to work a lot on idle, but these days, Terry Reedy is doing an amazing job with that, and I have moved on.
Yeah.
I am thinking of starting to work on the JIT. I know there's a lot to do there, and they've been like asking for more contributors to join. So I'm going to try my hand in that and see where the wind takes me.
Wow. Okay, that sounds good. Like we actually, everybody is rooting for the JIT to actually now pick up steam and prove itself. Now that free threading is essentially a standard feature, it's a supported feature. So the JIT comes next. We should make it worthwhile.
And I actually just finished adding my first optimization for the JIT, and I'm going to open my first PR on that. So I'm pretty happy.
That's incredible. That's great. And on the last day, so like just in time, huh?
Good one.
It was just there. It was right there. I had to do
right
it. I'm sorry. I had to do the joke. I'm sorry.
I liked it.
In any case, thanks for talking to us.
Pizza flavor.
Ooh, I would almost forget because we literally ask that to everybody. The most important question. Out of all the pizza flavors this week, which one was your favorite this week?
It has to be the roasted vegetables.
Okay. It was good?
I'm trying to eat as little meat as possible, so I didn't try all the ones with chicken and ham and stuff.
I see.
It was good, yeah.
Nice. Okay, but you're like, this week. So is there a particular flavor that wasn't available but would be your first choice?
Pizza with mashed potatoes.
What?
It is amazing.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, like mashed potato pizza. Okay.
You've got to try it. It's wow.
Brave choice. Wow. Okay. Now that our listeners are gonna be like, should I or shouldn't I? Yeah, you should. You should try it.
Very Polish.
It sounds like it's Polish, but I don't think anybody had pizza with mashed potatoes in Poland. But it sounds like that could be a hit, actually. We could open a joint and like it would be like the most Polish thing ever. I don't know. Oh.
I spent a few years as a kid in New Haven, Connecticut, and I visited recently, and there's like 2 pizza places. The city's sort of split between them. There's a rivalry going on, and one of them, like the specialty is basically pizza with mashed potatoes. And it's so good.
I've never heard of this before, so this is new information for me. I need to process this information now. Thanks for talking to us. Like we're glad that you're now around and that you had fun this week. We hope to see more of you.
I hope so too. Thanks for having me.
All right. Cool. Amazing. Lysandros, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to be here. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling tired, but also excited. There's one more day, so yeah.
One extra chance to get pizza.
One extra chance to get another pizza. Yeah.
It's already a running gag. But Diego's going to get it. Diego's going to get it. Sorry, Diego.
Yeah, I mean, like 3-4 slices of pizza every day, not good.
Yes.
Not ideal.
Well, they call the ARM diet. You know,
come
to ARM, diet, your cholesterol levels will spike.
Oh yeah.
All right. He tried very hard, by the way. I've been told that he really tried to get healthy food. That's why with the pizza there is like 3 tomatoes a slice, so you can choose the vegetarian option. All right, Lysandros, what are you working on this week?
Working on the parser this week.
Yeah. Excited.
Yeah. It's actually exciting because, I mean, the thing I'm working on has multiple uses. I'm working on splitting the grammar into multiple files, and of course it helps with maintainability, but as you told me, it also helps with GCC not giving up on optimizing the files because it's going to be multiple C files now, so the files are going to be a bit smaller.
It turns out that when your file is like 20,000 lines of C code, Jesus is like, wow, fuck it. I will align nothing.
Yes. GCC says, I give up. I'm not doing this.
It's an interesting fact of life, by the way, because the not only the size of the file is a part of the heuristic of many optimizations, among other things, inlining. It's a well-known fact. Well, maybe not well-known, but it's a fact that the size of your function in source, like so, how many lines your function spans, is also an heuristic, which means that you can put arbitrary empty lines, and at some point your function will be slower. JavaScript does the same.
Right.
Lukas says that JavaScript does the same apparently, but JavaScript is suboptimal. But C is the illegal language. The illegal language. Yes.
The forbidden language?
No, the illegal language.
Okay.
No, it's not forbidden. It's just illegal.
Just illegal.
It's like,
Okay.
It's just illegal.
Allowed but illegal.
Allowed.
Illegally allowed.
Exactly.
Okay.
It makes you feel more like badass. You know, like, hey baby, I call in the illegal language. All right. Cool. This is very cool because, like, you know, the grammar file right now is like insane. Like, it's just crazy, and like it's full of this like. And we were talking, maybe you can explain about this, but we were talking about this idea that we have accumulated a bunch of like cowboy shit in the parser. Let's say it's our fault.
It
Like,
is.
nobody will know whose fault really is, but like it's our fault. And now we are also thinking about changing this. So can you explain a bit about this?
Do you mean about the invalid
the labels
rules?
and the invalid things? Yeah.
I mean, there's many things that are there in the grammar that make it a bit less unreadable, and it'd be nice to actually have the description of the language without all of the stuff that makes it more unreadable, right?
Right, but like, for instance, right now, if you go to the Python grammar, you will find a bunch of like rules, like, you know, file, whatever, and then there is a bunch of like you know, like nice error messages rule that recognize like invalid Python, and like it tells you like, hey, this is bad, and like, how does the parser know that a rule is a normal one? Like, what is the sophisticated mechanism? Is there any syntax to say that a rule is a normal one? Like, you know.
No flags, no nothing.
So how the parser knows? How the parser knows?
It starts with
with invalid. Wait, and then a problem appeared. The problem was that it turns out that because it's trying to match invalid Python, it's a superset of Python now, is the invalid Python, right? So what happens is that from time to time, the invalid rules need to check, like, for instance, is this name followed by an expression, which is nothing, but like you want to say, well, don't put the expression. So you need to check if it's an expression. But the expression itself has also invalid rules. So sometimes it's very useful to call one of these other rules from an invalid one, but without checking itself if it's invalid, because then it's going to find some other problem. So how does the parser know if it needs to do this? By checking if the suffix of the rule is without invalid.
So yeah, you could have invalid something without invalid.
Yes. So I was telling him some time ago that so we receive now all these comments for like researchers of parsers, like you know, fascinated about like all these things, and apparently I don't know, like I'm not lying, like you can say I'm fine lying instead. So we received recently this researcher that was like amazed about this new system of like invalid rules in Python, and he's like, wow, how did you came with this and whatnot? Like I couldn't answer, but you did, right? And I'm thinking like, dude, this is cowboy shit. Like this is cowboy shit. And we were semi-drunk and we say, wouldn't it be cool? And now people are researching it. So how does this make you feel? Like your parser now is being, you know, dissected by like, you know, respected researchers without invalid.
I mean, it's such a weird feeling, right? Because on the one hand, yes, it's like it's got a lot of hacks, but on the other hand, it works really nicely, right?
Yes. It's very successful.
Yeah,
these people have like modified the grammar, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that we've had so many contributions with invalid error messages or invalid rules,
with or without,
with or without invalid. I mean, the fact that we have the problem that the grammar is getting bigger because of like better error messages is a good problem to have, right?
That's very good. Very excellent point, actually. Yes. But now we are adding import system. Include system to the grammar.
Yes, we're adding
Lysandros.
An include system to the
well,
grammar.
Liz, we will love to like keep working, but we need to keep talking. Sorry, but we need to go into what people want to know.
Okay.
What is your favorite feature of Python 3.14?
Oh, it can be something else other than t-strings, right?
Well, you can say t-strings if you want. Like I will allow it. I will allow it. T-strings is a good answer, to be honest.
Okay.
Okay, I can tell you the following, and then you decide.
Okay.
Plenty of people has choose their own shit. Like plenty of people has say my feature. So now you choose.
Okay.
While Lucas looks at you with teary eyes, hoping for you to notice him.
Okay, so I'll say the REPL autocomplete.
Oh, that was such a nice answer because it looked like he was going to select Lucas' work, but he went around it. Yes, so tell us, because I didn't even remember that was in 3.14. What is the REPL autocomplete?
Oh, wait, I didn't mean the REPL autocomplete. I meant syntax highlighting in the REPL.
Oh, what a plot twist. He was meaning Lucas all along. 3 to something ginormous. Amazing.
Yes.
Well, t-strings is very cool. Like that, like people
T-strings
are
are cool
about t-strings.
But come on, colors
Except
in
if
the
you put a
REPL.
lambda in them for some reason.
Yeah, except if you put a lambda in there and then you cannot round trip when parsing and unparsing.
Yes. So Lysandros was telling me that apparently there is this problem in unparse, IST unparse, because like someone is creating interpolations by hand, and interpolation is putting a string of some sort, and instead of that is putting a lambda, and then I say why, and Lysandros said
Testing, but I should have said not why. Memorize.
I say such a lost opportunity. Well,
Such a lost opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank
for
you
being
very
here.
much, man.
Awesome. Hello, Yury.
Hello, slackers.
We're starting strong, eh? Okay.
Well, the troops are writing code and you're just talking. All I see is you two talking and doing nothing.
Oh, well, no. Who is interviewing who? Jesus, okay.
So what are you working on, Pablo?
Okay, well, apparently reviewing your 6 trillion lines of code, you know?
Oh, that's useful.
Yeah,
that's useful.
okay. Well, I'm recording a podcast, man. I'm just this poor person, you know? Like, I'm just a slacker. Apparently. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm kidding. What you do is useful.
I'm always intimidated.
What you do is useful, maybe.
Okay. So what are you working on? What bananas are you working on these days?
The name of that banana starts with the letter U. Do you know the second letter?
S.
What?
A.
What?
USA.
You're so detached. You're so detached.
The second letter is U. The second letter is U.
Yeah.
What is the third letter?
I.
And the third letter, the fourth letter is
D.
UID. One desire. Yeah, you need to put like an effect of that. Okay. So what UID? Nobody likes UIDs.
Nobody loves
This is
them.
useless
Nobody
shit.
loves them.
Like no.
Absolutely useless. There is like one little complication with them is that they're becoming more and more popular. Because like as we want to distribute data and like do all those silly scalable things,
Sounds boring.
Say it again?
Sounds boring.
Sounds boring, yeah. It already sounds boring. Anyway, as we want to distribute things, we can't use auto-incremented IDs, so we use UUIDs now more and more and more and more. And this kind of becomes like a core type pretty much everywhere. And it's weird that in Python it's super slow.
Yes, it is very slow.
It's very slow. I was just talking to Yuka, and he said that in like a global profiling like dump of like what Dropbox is doing, UUID is like noticeable, but it shouldn't be.
Well,
like, it shouldn't be there.
I can complete this because since you told me that I was going to review your 3 million lines of code, I actually checked. Oh, maybe I can spend some work time on this actually because like probably it's going to survive the sprint, but like so I was thinking, maybe I can justify the review, whatever. And I was running some profiles at Bloomer, and holy shit, man, like that appears in a bunch of them. So indeed, like it turns out that a lot of people.
So indeed, you are a slacker because you could have fixed this years ago. You had motivation.
Well, I mean, it's not my code. It's not my code.
Of course, it's somebody else's code.
Yes, I will never use UIDs. But like,
what do you use?
I mean, I don't do databases.
Just names, just strings.
Just strings. No, integers.
Dude 1, dude 2.
6. I only have 6 users, so I just say integers, man. Like I don't know. I don't need indexes or any of these fancy trees. Like my database is a file.
Yeah. OM baby.
Users.txt. It's users.txt. And when someone buys something, I just like put a bunch of spaces and just like columns.
And this is why kids you should go
but why
and work at Bloomberg.
Hire me, performance engineers. Dude, like people are doing all this weird shit. Like we were saying, like I don't know who was. I think it's Twitter. Someone was saying that they are using now, or they are using more and more one SQLite database per user. Like people are doing this now instead of like having a distributed database. Like now they ship like a single SQLite database and they synchronize it. So like why not users.txt?
The next step is not to even synchronize it. Just like you take care of your database.
Like,
you're the user.
You pass it to me in the callback. Like I will look at it.
Here is the SD card.
We'll ship it to you. Put your postcode. All right, but like why the hell? Okay, so UIDs is very important.
So anyway, a while ago I implemented a driver for gel in Python and in JavaScript, and I know JavaScript, so the JavaScript implementation is like really straightforward, and this is why it jits so well. But Python implementation had a bunch of Python and C in it to speed things up, and it was 2 times slower than JavaScript. I'm like, this is weird. Like, how can this actually happen? And mind you, this was not on like some micro benchmark of UIDs. It was like a benchmark that fetches a bunch of data. And the culprit was UID. Like UID was so slow that it was dragging the whole thing down. And again, years ago, I actually have like this little Python file in gel Python that implements UID and sort of like does horrible things to make is instance of that pass through like a UID check.
Right.
It was always like on my list to just fix it. And recently, Sebastian from Fast API, Sebastian Ramirez complained that hey, like UIDs are slow. UID 7 is horribly slow. Like, what can we do about it? And I'm like, okay, like I probably should fix it because I wanted to. So that was the objective number 1 of this sprint. Of course, I promised everybody on Twitter that I will speed it up 100x. And after a day of work, I sped it up like 2x. But then I discovered the trick. And I implemented the tricks. And now UID 7 is 30 times faster.
30 without the JIT.
And I think this is like theoretical limit of it because Node.js, has one of the fastest implementations. It's now on par with it. Bun, which is written in Zig and like micro optimized for everything, is on par. Like the performance is comparable now. So I don't know. Like maybe there is some magic like sysid or whatever.
And you did all these only in 8,000 lines of C.
No, it's only 1,500 lines of C and like some generated C. I'm excited. I'm excited for you reviewing it.
Approve.
Who can see? Well, GitHub Copilot is happy if it makes you life easy.
Okay. You know I only reviews Python
files.
Right?
The AI overlord okays it.
No, but only Python files. It will not review C. After all,
nobody reviews C. We just trust it. It's an easy language.
But you told me a very interesting trick. Like, can you tell us about the trick that you used that actually made the performance?
Yeah, so the first actual trick is to rewrite it in C, which speeds up everything considerably. Some operations like JSON serialization, for example, 7 times faster, just because it's in C now, and it has to do less things. And also, we can have like a specialized little table that maps bytes that will be there, like to proper hex characters and whatnot. So making it like 01 instead of something weird, what's usually going on. And like those tricks make it fast. The trick that actually, but then I was wondering, like, how come my like existing UID 7 implementation that is in pure Python that uses this new type, which is in C, it's only 2 times faster than C implementation of UID 7. Right. So probably overhead is like for the actual algorithm that generates CUID. Maybe the bottleneck isn't Python and the bottleneck is in C, because I would expect it to be like 100 times faster or 10 times faster, but not 2 times faster. So the actual bottleneck is reading random data, because that is an expensive operation.
And the trick that I implemented to make it faster is just to overread. So when you generate a UUID, we don't just like read 4 bytes or 16 bytes that we need to read. We read like 160 bytes. We store this information in the buffer, and then when you generate the next UUID, if you already have some data, some random data, you just used it.
So it was the I/O. It was the I/O the problem.
It was the I/O, exactly. So once I implemented the trick, the performance boosted considerably, like 50
Well, I mean, a lot, no?
Exactly.
For 2 to 30.
Exactly.
Very impressive.
There are some interesting things here, like where AI actually helped me, because I asked, hey, like, is this okay? Is this used anywhere? And it's like, it's used in Node.js, it's used there and there and there. And by the way, the concern here is the forking thing. Like if you fork the process, you don't want the buffered random data to be shared.
Of course.
But I didn't come up with it. Like like it was the AI who suggested me
So
this.
how you are invalidating on fork or something?
No. I'm just reading getPid every time I request the random data. getPid is like super fast.
That review is going to be funny.
Oh, it's fine. Why not?
Because getPid is a system call, dude.
Sure.
Sorry. No, I correct myself. It's not a system call. It's a look in libc, but
300 nanoseconds compared to OSU random is like nothing.
It's a system call. No, it has to be a system call. No, it's a system call. Yes, it's a system call. Yeah, it may be cache, but like it's a system call. All right. Okay.
It's a user TXT level of performance.
No, dude, just use the add-fork handlers. Use the add-fork handlers and then just clear the buffer. Yes.
It's fast enough, Pablo. Pablo, it's fast enough. Basically,
we'll check. Listeners, we will see what happens.
We will absolutely see what happens. But I can tell you what will happen. What will happen?
1 million.
I can tell you what will happen, Pablo.
I will use my profiler to measure.
You will use your profiler to measure, and then you will see that it's not worth it because.
Do you want to bet?
Let's bet.
Okay. We are betting like a whiskey.
Whiskey.
What kind of whiskey?
Red Label. Your favorite.
No.
Your favorite.
No.
Well, I'm sorry. I spoiled it for the podcast listeners.
What color? No.
What color? They're all the same color.
Okay, red label. Okay, let's play that. Yeah, disgusting.
Sounds good.
Okay, so if I win, you need to drink the red label.
No.
Now it gets interesting.
All right. How about we structure it differently? Either a huge bottle of Red Label or a small bottle of Blue Label, like this small,
like
1 inch small.
A mini. Okay.
Well, like the mini. You put it under the tongue and just enjoy it.
Let's do that.
Anyway, when I removed this code, when I added getPid and removed it, like there is no detectable difference. Maybe getPid is more is slower than having post or pre-fork hooks. But it's kind of lost, like the difference is lost in the noise. So do you want to have like the most efficient solution here?
Yes.
Maybe not.
You are writing 1,500 lines of C code. Of course we want the most efficient
solution. But getPid trick is like 3 lines of code.
Yes, of course, but this cowboy shit, like, no. Okay, we'll discuss. Like, this episode is going to be 6 weeks of episodes, so like we need to wrap.
Lucas, can I ask you to review the PR? I have a feeling I made a mistake.
Looks good to me.
Approve. No, don't worry. I'm not going to be a pain. I mean, I will check because I'm curious. Like, I normally have, for instance, in Membrane, we used to do that. We used to check the PID because the fork thing, and it appeared in the profile. It's true that we are calling it every single time.
But that's basically because Membrane is so slow. Like, it's probably because of that, right? This is why it registers.
It's really slow, yes. It's only the faster memory profiler on Earth, but like, sure, yes.
Faster than
Okay, we are done. we are.
Will we cut it
By the way, just for future Lucas, we are not supposed to say the name of the profiler in the podcast.
I know.
All right, this is actually very exciting. I am excited to review this insanity.
Sounds good. But that was one thing that I wanted to work on. There is a second thing.
All right, what is this?
Second thing is what I'm actually excited about. I'm not that much excited about UUID. I just feel like somebody had to do it. Second thing is typing.
Typing.
All yes. Right. I want to make Python look like TypeScript. This is my dream. This is my secret dream, to make it look like TypeScript. But what I mean by this is to actually have an ability to compute types from types dynamically, which will drastically reduce the amount of boilerplate code that people have to write right now. Because, for example, you have a type and it has like 7 fields, and you want to just remove one field, a specific name. The solution now is to copy and paste the solution in TypeScript to just produce the new type out of the existing type using like comprehensions, using code.
Right.
And I want that to be part of Python. So I started experimenting, made some progress, chatted with Yuka, and we all think it's doable. So that's going to be my focus.
Oh, that's interesting. Grammar changes or no grammar changes?
Hopefully not. I don't think that we... that's actually the beauty of it, because in TypeScript, there is like a whole new sort of like sub-language in TypeScript dedicated to working with types and operating on types. And the language is weird. Like I consider myself to be proficient with TypeScript, but every time I need to do something complex, I have to find documentation or like talk to AI or anything. Like I just don't remember it. It looks so alien from the rest of the language. But in Python, it's just going to be API. So API calls, and you have for loops, and you have if expressions. You have all of that, so you can lean on that and API. So I doubt that we need any sort of syntax. My dream is to actually have the PEP approved in like some amount of time, and then we don't even have to wait until the new Python comes out, because then it's just going to be on type checkers.
Right, because if you don't have a new syntax, you can add it
exactly.
backward. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, actually, we may want to probably do like another episode on this at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that, because there's a lot of meat here, and like you just mentioned it at the end.
And I think it's like it's at most 2 days of focused work, so I still have time.
That means a week. but all right. Well, Yury, it's always a pleasure to have you here. We'll probably schedule something later to talk about this intriguing idea of like making TypeScript from Python.
Absolutely.
But thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, we have with us Diego Russo, who is responsible for us recording this episode. We would be in a different place right now if it weren't for him. And we would be doing something different if it weren't for Diego.
Maybe something more productive?
Possibly a little more productive, possibly much less productive, and definitely way less punty, definitely way less risky. Let's talk about our sprint in Cambridge first. You are a first-time attendee of a sprint as well, Diego.
First time, yes. Thanks for having me today.
And also just organizing right away. You never been on a sprint before with us, and you're like, I'm gonna organize it right away.
Yeah, let's
how,
start. Yes.
How does it feel?
Well, now it feels great. A week ago, very, very stressed because I didn't know what to expect. So that was the main reason of my stress levels. But but apparently everything went well, so I'm very, very happy.
Yes, no victims.
No victims,
yes,
no, nothing, no major incidents. So
no changes that had to be reverted last minute.
No,
all good.
We actually made the RC3, Python 3.14 RC3 yesterday from here, which is great.
From here. Yeah, so cool. So you are the organizer, so I don't expect you had any time to actually do any coding this week, huh?
And yes, you expect right. I didn't have time to do anything. Well, I just have a few chats with people around the JIT, but yes, no real contributions. And actually, it's been a while that I don't contribute, so I really hope that from next week I start again with my pull request chain.
Very cool. But so for the organization part of the sprint, what was the most unexpected thing that happened this week for you?
The most unexpected thing, that actually everything worked very well from from the organizational point of view. Yes, because I was preparing myself with all sorts of problems, technical problems, Wi-Fi, video, audio, recordings, and all different functions within the company, but everything actually went surprisingly well.
All right, that's glad to hear that. Like,
so this was very unexpected for me.
Very cool. So the sprint at ARM here is in your Cambridge headquarters.
Correct.
It's a pretty big campus here.
Yes.
Yeah, like, so how many people do work here? Like
I think here in Cambridge we're around 3,000 people.
Wow, like
so it's the main.
They're very well hidden. We don't really see that many of them like in our like nice area here.
No, because this area is designed for customers, so is usually is very ring fenced, so people don't book these meeting rooms or these kind of things. So I was able to I booked this area 1 year ago to make sure that I had the whole area and all reserved for us.
Nice.
And so this is why it's very kind of reserved for external people.
You know that within this room, there are no people who did not organize course sprints for Python.
Okay.
All three of us are organizers.
Okay, that's cool.
You're still the current one because you didn't lock the doors behind us
no,
yet.
Exactly. Not yet.
But we are past organizers. Like I did it 2016, 2017, and Pablo did it in 2019. So, you know,
well, maybe a question for you too.
Huh?
How was this edition compared to the ones that you organized?
I didn't really have stress levels raised too much because I'm not the organizer, but I had them raised just a little bit because of the scale of the event. If I was organizing a sprint for so many people, since it was easily twice the size as mine,
I think we had 50 people.
Yes,
50.
I had like 23 the first time around and 27 or something the second time around. So your sprint is way larger than mine.
Yes.
I think I organized a big one as well, but I can tell you that in my case, I was also super stressed. I did like 0 lines of code that week as well. But I can tell you something, like as you will see in a couple of minutes with the pizza joke that now it will culminate with you. It will close with you. So the food that we did at Bloomberg, like it was not pizza, but it was like catering, like random shit, and people still complain and do jokes about like the sandwiches and so whatever. Like it doesn't matter what you do, like people will complain. There is no way to win. I do think though Gukesh will win anyway over us, because even if he had a small sprint, it was still at the time when Guido was the VDFL. So getting a PEP written in the sprint right now means nothing. But at his sprint, Guido was accepting PEPs left and right. So a lot of PEPs were born in the sprint and accepted at the sprint. So I think if you go, you can still see it in the repo. If you go to the repo and you check number of contributions and issues or whatever, there is a super ridiculous peak around that, and that was like Gukesh's sprint.
Well done.
Yeah, also well done. In any case, this sprint is fantastic. The most impressive thing probably is how you organized just great weather for us.
Yes.
Everybody told us that like we should expect the UK to be UK, and it's going to be horizontal wind and horizontal rain, and it's going to be miserable. But no, it was lovely.
Well, for 2 days before the sprint, it was like that. To be honest, I was panicking, but actually then.
So fortunately, you didn't organize any outdoor activities for us.
Well, no, except the panting, maybe.
Yeah, yes. Like, what would it be like if there was horizontal rain on the river? Like, that would be very pleasant.
Well, a blanket and an umbrella, I think, on the boat.
So we were extremely lucky in that regard, but it came out like great. Like it was a great activity for the team. So now that the sprint is almost over, you can forget it. You can just say, okay, task done. What's next for you for Python 3.15? What would you like to see done by you? Like, what are you interested in doing for the next Python version?
Right. Yes. The main things, I guess, all things around the JIT. And the main pressure things is the compatibility with the free threading. So I always had an interest in working with the free threading, so I think there would be something done on these front. And now, also as I announced at the beginning of the sprint, Mark Shannon will join ARM in a couple of weeks. So I will have some help. We are also hiring for an extra person. We are waiting a response. So there will be 3 people working on CPython on different fronts. So hopefully the capacity of the team will increase over time.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But our listeners so far have heard a lot about Mark Shannon. You know, everybody knows about Dr. Shannon.
Dr. Shannon.
But what a lot of people don't know is that since this announcement, you are now listening to Dr. Shannon's boss. Oh, yes, yes. Big deal, big deal.
Yes, correct.
Right.
I will be his manager.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Good to know. Good to know. This will be helpful for the project. Yes. We will definitely not be abusing this knowledge.
No, not at all.
Email your complaints at Diego at Arm. I don't know if that is in your email.
So for us, Python 3.14 is a bit of a history, right? Because like the feature freeze was a long time ago. Like a lot of people get confused by the question I'm about to ask you because they're like, when was that? But what's the favorite thing that we added in Python 3.14 for you?
No, well, it's a free threading that is actually it's kind of a step in the right direction, which is supported. Then the syntax highlighting the REPL, that was very nice. I really like it. It, as Brand said earlier, it changes the developer experience, even for small things. So I really appreciate that.
Right. So like if free threading like takes the cake, I'm supportive of that. If I come second, I will take that too. Like that's decent. Even before PDB-P, which is PDB-P is awesome. So wow, okay, cool. So that's 3.14. We already know like what you're gonna be focusing on 3.15, and we know how you were stressed during this sort of sprint here. But the next one you're gonna be at, and it's gonna be in the US without you being the organizer.
Yes.
Do you know, are you in contact with the people that are gonna do it next year?
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Not. It's a secret for now.
Yeah, it's a secret for now.
But where do GPUs fit into this?
Oh, okay. We will not be naming any names right now, but we are very excited about the 2026 sprints as well. And if you're already in contact with some particular people that want to organize it, that's a relief to hear from me, because at the time when I was doing this, we were not sure that anybody was going to pick it up the next year.
I've been approached by people, but I did say, look, let me do it first, and then we can talk.
Okay.
So,
high hopes.
Yes.
So, last question to you then, because we asked everybody this.
Go for it. It's about pizza.
You knew this is coming. You knew this is
it's
coming.
About pizza. It's my favorite pizza flavor.
Yes, absolutely that. Like,
is it really this? That's
the special question.
I was guessing.
You guessed perfect then. What was the best flavor of all the flavors we had over the entire week?
Oh, we have so many. I go with a standard margarita pizza.
Cool. We've heard two very different opinions here. Like many people liked margaritas. One told us like it was a very good margarita, while another person told us that it wasn't a real margarita.
Ooh.
So what's an opinion of an Italian person? Like, was that a real margarita or not?
I guess it was, yes. I mean, in my opinion, yes. Maybe the basil wasn't there, but that was the missing bit of the margarita, because there should be the 3 colors of the Italian flag. So red for tomato, white for mozzarella, green for basil. But, you know.
Close enough?
Close enough, yes. But I guess I know what I'm not going to eat for the next 2 weeks, at least.
Even as an Italian, you're like...
Even as an Italian.
Enough pizza.
Too much pizza.
And on that positive note, thanks for having us, not just the two of us here in this little room, but for Arm and you in person, to have all of us for the sprint. This was incredibly productive, and like it's always this week that is very emotional to me, that like we are able to actually work together in such a large group, but very closely. So thank you for doing this. It means a lot. It means a lot.
Thanks to all of you for coming all the way from all over the world. Also, a big shout out to ARM and all the different functions that supported the whole sprint, and everything went very well.
Yes, thanks for the partnership. We hope that it's ongoing and we're going to do projects together in the future.
Bravissimo!
Grazie.
So I suppose we are the last ones here. We need to talk about our own shenanigans. So what did you do during this week, Ukeshlanga?
Well,
apart from eating pizza of many different flavors,
I in fact ate no pizza.
No pizza?
All right,
of course, yes, the diet.
Yeah, so like when you're on paleo, you avoid a bunch of things, and like pizza dough is one of the things you avoid. And there were very many salads that went as sides here every day. Mm-hmm. And like those were underappreciated this entire round of 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you that they were great every day, and they were different every day. So I was perfectly happy. I was a perfectly happy camper all my UK trip, because I first started it in Scotland, visited all sorts of places, including Aberdeen, where I had a meetup, and Edinburgh, where I also had a meetup, where I was talking about PyScript and how you can use Python in the browser to do 3D. Yeah, so that was fun. The Aberdeen meetup had some people in it, and the Edinburgh meetup had many people in it that came to see me, so that was nice. Scotland was beautiful, but all of this travel and sightseeing made me sort of pretty tired by the time I arrived here. So I was like, man, I almost wish I skipped this and went home. But seeing everybody, being in this very nice and friendly office, because not only is this all very well organized, but even security here, they're really chill, really chill. So I appreciated that too. All of that like made it worth actually coming, and just being a little more tired, but also very productive. I in fact did land quite a few PRs that were on the backlog for PyRepl. I fixed a thing or two myself.
Did you review Olga's?
I did see Olga's PR. Like it's
the
a draft.
Is no.
No, I did look at it. Like it's a draft, and the approach taken in that PR, I'm not so sure about. So we're gonna have to like.
All right. Well, I mean, she was waiting for you to at least say like this is a bad idea or whatever. But yeah.
I don't want to just say that. I want to give her a suggestion on what should happen instead.
Makes sense.
And that's the missing bit that I haven't gotten to.
Of course.
So far. But I still might, like, there's still gonna be like me waiting for the airplane tonight, so I still might actually come up with that. Because there were like a lot of discussions about like lazy imports, perhaps imports.
Perchance imports.
Yeah, this sort of
Hey, come on, but I didn't monopolize your time. That was done at a time when you had no computer in front of you. So like you couldn't accuse me of like, redirecting your energy.
No. It's all good, but like this entire event like is somewhat a mix of everything. A mix of coding, a mix of meetings, a mix of presentations. Like there was
a mix of pizza flavors.
Yeah, you were at a Q&A yesterday. I had a Q&A today. With
yesterday?
People.
No, on the Wednesday. No?
Oh, Wednesday. Yes, see, like days just fly by here. Yeah. So it was an intense week. We loved it here. It was a huge sprint. Like 50 people is no joke, to actually make sure that everybody's relatively happy, because it's true, you cannot get everybody happy every single day. Somebody will always have like some feedback to share. Doesn't matter, it's all good.
Always constructive.
Yes. And we're all like kind of here essentially to do one thing. We did enough of that. I'm happy with where I landed at by the end of the week, but definitely I have now a to-do list that is longer than it was before coming here.
Well, I mean that's kind of the purpose, right? Like at least you have good conversations. They spark like cool projects.
Right. So how about you? Like, what are your highlights?
Highlights. Well, I mean, I suppose it's the boring, like go to talk to everyone, blah blah blah. But like for me, at least in terms of productivity, I think I had two major things that I wanted done, and I'm quite satisfied by what I did. So the first one is kind of like more, well, it's not boring, it's kind of cool. So you know that we are doing like a profiler or something, right? Like we I don't know if I ever told you about it.
Sampling something.
It's 1 million. Extra distortion. You don't need to add distortion to that. Like you have the distortion. So for our listeners, this is particularly funny because we came kind of like I came underprepared to the sprint, and we have to Amazon away our problem via buying a audio interface, because even if I live 1 hour away from the place we are right now, I was I forgot to bring like literally anything podcast related. An ARM, by the way, thank you very much ARM employees that listen to this, but ARM very thankfully lend us mic. Anyway, so from the two of us, only Gukesh is wearing his headphones, and I just probably reduce his audition capabilities by probably 2 or 3%. Anyway, so yeah, 1 million. So 1 million. So it turns out that when you profile at the speed of like light or whatever, there's a bunch of things that you want to normally do, and what the profiler does is that it just takes these like samples of the threads. Like it keeps asking the program like, okay, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? What are you doing now? But it turns out that like it's interesting, because what if you have like a bunch of threads, or even just one thread for that sake, and what about this you call a sleep, right? Like let's say you call a sleep for 10 seconds. Would you like that sleep call to appear in your profile?
No.
Or maybe yes, who knows? Like maybe you are.
It depends on the use case.
Exactly, ooh, my friend. All right, so the problem is that it depends a bit on the thing, because sometimes you're looking for like wall time, what is called, right? Like if I look at my watch, like how much time has it passed? But some other times, like tell me about things I can optimize with because I cannot make sleep faster. Sleep faster, impossible. So there is this concept of like CPU profiling, like that's like when the thread is actually doing computation, or like wall time profiling, and there is another one in Python which is GIL profiling, like when your thread has the GIL, because in Python you can have the GIL but they still call sleep, like nobody stops you from doing that. So for doing that, I was adding this like the capability of you to say as a user, I want CPU or wall or the other thing, which is much more difficult than it looks like, because in Linux, trivial. I mean, sort of trivial, but like mostly trivial. But man, in macOS and Windows, this is binding against like secret mega private interface. Yes, dark secrets here. And some of those interfaces, not only all of them are mega undocumented, some of these interfaces are clearly only used, I'm pretty sure this interface is mainly used in Task Manager in Windows. Yeah. Because like if you include the header when the things are, it's a secret header, right? But if you include the secret header when the things are defined, it has a circular import that probably only works on Task Manager because they have resolved it by importing something else. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And in macOS, where anything is undocumented, even public interfaces, because that's the way of Apple. This is even worse, because like I have to look at like how their libc does it, and like they subtract a mysterious offset that turns out to be because the pthread store is just disgusting. It's just disgusting. But it's there now, and we solve the problems, and it's really fast. And now you can do you can filter the things, and Brand, depending on the order where we put this, like Brand also have talked about like these things. So very cool. But the major project I embarked last week, which I'm very excited about, I got to talk a lot with Dino and Thomas, because we are going to embark on a big journey about like lazy imports. Take to the revenge this time with keywords now, if needed. Yes. We spent like 6 trillion hours discussing the stupid keyword. I think we probably will go still with lazy, but the fur is a very possible candidate. I don't know, we will see. And this is a big project. It's very tricky. The original implementation was interesting, but like it was using a bunch of like maybe choices that are not very proper for like CPython. Like for instance, it was modifying the internals.
Yes.
But it's like why your hash table needs to know about import is this weird. So I mean weird, and it has several amount of problems. I understand why it was there.
It was a very elegant hack for like a production company to just be like, oh, what is the minimal attack surface to solve this problem?
Yeah, but it's kind of
it's
weird,
not the
yeah,
thing that
yeah.
you want to have
Exactly.
in the programming language.
Exactly,
in
it's also kind of weird because you spend all this time like like learning about like and to some extent even that company will ask you in interviews, like it's a GAO, a subclass of like blah. So now it's like fuck the hash table, I'm going to put it here, and like very elegant for our company. Like it's kind of not great.
It's a minimal patch. That's what it counted.
And you know how these things are. Like now it will bug you in the future because you want to optimize stuff, and like now you cannot because like somehow your hash table now needs to know about import.
Or you cannot upgrade to a new Python version because they changed something.
Exactly, horrible. And it's going to make debugging much harder. Well, anyway, so I have been designing very hard together with the original author of the original PEP, and Dino and Thomas, Brittany from Reynoso from Meta, and some people from HRT, Noah and Tim. So we have been designing the take 2 on this PEP that is probably going to be called something boring like explicit lazy imports, although I wanted to call it like I cannot believe this is not lazy imports or something like that. So that was very close to be the name, but like people I think they want to they want people to look at them like serious people, so I won't drag them into my clownness. But yes, and we're going to probably go to a keyword and like a bunch of like approaches where you can deactivate it and activate it and whatnot. So we are still finishing it, but we have a working prototype using the adaptive interpreter as a proxy, much more elegant. The patch goes from like thousands of lines to barely 800. So very, very elegant. And the parser part is very cool. I'm very excited. I think this is a super important part for Python itself. I think like things like, CLIs. I mean, we have talked about this, so I suppose I don't need to repeat it, but like big applications as well. But like, all the CLIs taking 4 seconds to solve the help.
Yeah.
We are losing a lot of users to Rust and Go. Nothing wrong with the languages, but like it's a bit sad that like people doing things in Python because it feels productive. Like I think you mentioned this in the past, like the fact that it's a bit sad that like tooling for Python is not done in Python. Right?
Yeah, it is sort of like a failure for us because there is plenty of convenience when you reuse the language that you're targeting in your implementation, right?
Exactly.
Like obviously, like it's not just convenient because you can then use the power of the language that you are interested in, but also as a learning tool. I learned a lot by just looking at like what is Flaky doing, what is this other thing doing, and now we kind of lose that. So we would like to reclaim that space. Right, if your CLIs become as fast as normally because the imports get much faster, then the advantage for using a different programming language decrease. There's still some because like a Python installation is a gazillion files,
right?
And you need to figure out which one you mean.
Right.
Whereas just a single file that happens to be executable is always going to like be easier to reason about. But that's a different problem that we can also attack separately. Yeah, so the lazy imports, I support that idea. I support this message, Łukasz Langa.
I endorse this service or product. yes. Okay. Exactly. Yes. That's what we want.
I can just say Łukasz Langa because unlike like half of the guests, like I'm not a doctor, so Doctor.
Dr. Ijo. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Łukasz Langa, for supporting this message.
My pleasure.
Okay. Perchance. All right. So being said that, like, I'm very excited. It's a nice design space, and I'm working with very smart people, and man, I just love to work with Thomas and Dino. Like it's just amazing. Like it's cool, and I was talking with Dino about like the possibility of using the adaptive interpreter, and literally the next day he had a prototype. It's just ridiculous. Like
wow.
It's not only very impressive, and Dino is impressive by itself, but like it's very forwards, drive people, and like I always love to talk with people that take initiative and whatnot. So in this case, amazing, and so I will be going to Meta's office. On Monday because we are Friday.
The London office.
Yes. And we will be sitting down and write the first draft.
Visit the ice cream shop.
Yes. Certain person saw me already the ice cream parlor. Apparently, it's a different building.
So like maybe you'll be able to see like.
Yeah, but I'm sure they have moved the voting at Bofex. But maybe Thomas can book that meeting room so we can go full circle.
Or another one that is just as serious as Boaty McBoatface.
We will close the circle in our friendship by me sending to you the meeting room. But a lot of cool things, and of course, like talking to you and everyone, that is amazing. But yes, I don't know how long this episode is going to be, but right now, last time we checked, it was like 4 hours. Probably maybe you are listening to the second episode, depending on how we cut it. So I think it's time for us to shut the fuck up. Go, because in 26 minutes we are going to be evicted by evicted. That's also a CPU term, whatnot. But whatever, by the ARM people. Yes, they are going to deploy the strong arm of ARM.
We're going to be moved.
Turing complete.
No.
Does ARM have move? Move is probably Intel move like x86 move. That's probably too CISC. I mean, it's so CISC that it's like Turing complete, right? But ARM probably has some like.
But you need to have something.
Yeah, but like the problem is not just move. Like the move is Turing complete not because you can move like this memory to this memory, because they have this funky syntax with the square brackets, and like you can move and the reference like the memory at the same time, and then you can add these offsets, and the offsets allow calculations. So you don't only say like move this from this memory location, the reference, and add offset. You can use a different registers to also tell the move how to do it.
So we might hear from our listeners that know more about how the ARM move works, but I'm pretty sure they have something to move memory from a place to a place.
Absolutely. We learned in one of the symposiums this week between the pizzas that ARM has one of the ARMs, because apparently ARM is like 6 trillion different
architectures.
Things. Yes. Sounds a bit miserable. To target ARM. Yeah, because like what ARM are you targeting? Like ARM B8.1, but like some of the instructions don't appear, and then there's all this pack thing. Like,
so I had my stint at both programming microcontrollers directly in C++, as well as using like CircuitPython, MicroPython for microcontrollers. And the way this is usually papered over is that you have some ARM architecture for a very energy efficient chip that might not even have like a floating point unit, right?
Right.
So then those things, the compiler simply replaces with software-defined floating points, which is terribly slow, but like you don't have to like now if def floats. You can use them. You can use doubles. It's fine. Like, but just they're gonna be very slow.
I know, but like as a programmer, to reason about how your program will behave, and especially as a compiler engineer, which was a very interesting talk, by the way.
I don't envy the people actually writing the compilers, but as a user of C++ or like C that MicroPython is written in, a lot of those things are being sort of supported by the compiler. So you don't have to worry about that. There are obviously some instructions that are DSP related or something where you can actually do multiple things at the same time. So either you have them or not, and you can discover that.
We also learned that like even the base instruction set has like CISC instructions, like memcopy apparently is an instruction by itself, very CISC. And how they call it? It's not a RISC architecture, it's a pragmatic architecture or something like that. They were like, whoopsie. I mean, Intel even today, like the microcode is very risky as well. Like so now it's like blended. Although ARM is clearly winning a bit more. I, Pablo, endorse this message or a product. So
no, ARM. You Dr. Pablo Galindo.
Oh, okay, Dr. Pablo Galindo endorsed this message or product. Yes, it was not just to make you feel excluded from the joke. You can
nice.
Dr. Iju. All right. So I think let's shut up after this like ARM sponsorship. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for persevering with us on this 4-hour-long journey. We'll get back with our regular programming once we sleep it over because it was a very, very intense week.
Yes.
Thanks, and see you next time.
See you next time.